Welcome. My name is Bruce. This is level 1 Vinyasa Flow Yoga. Welcome to your practice. Let's get started. So, we are going to start in a comfortable seated position. If you have a bolster or a throw pillow, anything that can lift hips up higher than knees, that would be awesome to get that position so that you can be a little bit more comfortable in the low back and in the hip creases. Of course, the Sukhasana, this easy seated pose, isn't working for you for this practice. Take child's pose or even corpse pose as you would in Shavasana. So, settle in. Find that comfortable, grounded position. And if it works with you, if it works for you, close your eyes. If you'd rather keep your eyes open, find a soft gaze at something in front of you. And relax. And how do we relax? Easier said than done, right? So we want to take some big, deep breaths. Big inhales. Big exhales. And see if you can fill up low to high, all the way up past collarbones. And exhale out, high to low. If it feels good, make those exhales really loud and long. You can give an open mouth exhale or a long sighing out exhale. So take several rounds. And on each of these big long breaths, with these long loud exhales, see how much you can let go of on each exhale. Such that with each exhale, you can feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more that like your muscles are releasing. And then go ahead and allow your breath to normalize. Let the breath come naturally and let the lips stay gently sealed. And allow the sensation of breath to become your focal point. So you feel the coolness on the way in, the touch of the breath on the way out. And notice how that touch of the breath makes itself known to you. Is it a sense of warmth on the upper lip, on the exhales? Is it a sense of falling chest as the breath comes out? So a couple more rounds where you're really just paying nice, focused attention on the breath. As you keep this soft breath and focused attention on sensation of inhales and exhales, I'll tell you a little bit about today's practice. So our focus is going to be on letting go. It is often, as we go through our lives with the amount of stress that we have, that we really hold a lot. It can be muscular holding, it can be emotional holding, it can be just the holding of tension in our bodies. So we want to start right now with that breath of letting go and move through our practice. And we'll have some twists in the practice and see how much we can use those twists to give us a sense of wringing out so that we can let go a bit more. So with that in mind, I invite you to bring hands to heart space. Palms together, thumbs into breastbone. Feel the chest meet the thumbs press in, get that feedback. And then I invite you to bring an intention to mind. Could be something that is related to letting go. Might be a question, what can I let go of? Maybe even, what can I let go of that does not serve me? So consider your intention, really anything that can help you on the mat as we move through our 60-minute practice, or perhaps even as you go through your day after your time on the mat. So several rounds of breath to consider your intention. Then I invite you to take a full round of breath where we fill up with intention, we feel it in our bodies, and then we open mouth exhale to send it out to the universe. So gently exhale out to prepare. Big inhale. Hold it, maybe drink in a little bit more still. And then open mouth exhale, send it out. Good. Allow hands to come back down to inner thighs. If you have a bolster or a pillow, just remove it. Send it out of the way. If you have a block or something that can stand in for a block, you may want that block handy. And then find your way to tabletop position on your mat. You want wrist creases under the tops of the shoulders, knees right in alignment with the hips. And then we're going to move with our inhale into cow pose. Let the belly button drop towards the earth. Shoulder blades lift the heart space. Gently lift the chin. Exhale back. Cat pose. Hang out in cat pose so you can reach the arms long and spread through the shoulder blades. Tuck that pelvis back so you can feel like the pelvic bowl is going to spill out towards the back of the knees. And then take several more rounds of cow on the inhale. Cat on the exhale. Nice and slow. So you can start to warm up the back, spine, cervical spine. Spread through the shoulder blades on each of your cat poses. And then as you're ready, just take some nice free-form motion. Some sending out the hips side to side. So you can get into that hip point area, outer waist. Often we hold a lot of tension there, so even in these gentle movements, see if you can find that sense of letting go of that tightness that lives in the hip point area, glutes, lower side body. Take just another full round side to side. And then come on back, tabletop. Take an inhale and tabletop. And then come on back to your child's pose. Hips come back, arms reach long. Breathe here. With your next round of breath, you're going to walk your arms over to the left. And feel like that right hip point wants to come to the outside of the right heel. So you're going to reach the arms away, send the hips back in the opposite direction. And see if you can find that nice stretch in the side body. So we're going to hope to move that stretch that we just did in our kind of free-form and tabletop from low waist up to the upper side body, under the arms, even the triceps. One more breath here. Come on back through tabletop, and then send the arms over the other way. Have that sense of left hip moving back like it wants to go past the left heel. Reach the arms away in the opposite direction. Breathe into the tight spot in that left upper side body. And then with your next round of breath, come on back. Tabletop. From tabletop, keep hips right in alignment over the knees. And then walk the arms out. See how far you can reach them without bringing those hips forward. And then as we move into Anahatasana, heart to earth, bring the forehead to the earth. If that doesn't reach, you can rest your forehead on the block. Nice option. If you've got lots of room, you can bring your chin to the earth. Once you settle in, reach those arms long, send the hips back. Melt the heart towards the earth. Feel the stretch. Couple rounds of breath here.
When we let go, we have the opportunity to fill up with what we need. So take a couple rounds of breath here to have that sense that you can fill up from the earth below with exactly what you need, right into your heart space. With your next round of breath, walk one arm under shoulder at a time. You'll be back in your tabletop. In a moment, we're going to move to down dog. But before we do, I'm going to give you an option if down dog, a couple options, if down dog is not going to work for you for today's practice. When I cue going into down dog, if down dog is not where you want to go, you can, of course, take another cow and cat. Another option is to get the hamstring stretch on each side by sending one leg way back, ball the foot presses down, and then you press the heel away and get a nice stretch in that low calf. That's a lot of what we get in down dog as well. So that's an option. If you are going to go into down dog, send the hips up and back, reach those arms long, and then in your down dog, pedal it out so that you can warm up those hamstrings. And you're going to get right into the low calf, most of us will, as you pedal out. So it's that same stretch I showed just coming from tabletop. You can also move side to side, so especially if those hip points were tight, you might want to move right into the tight spots as we pedal out. Just 2 more breaths. Pedaling out, and then come back to your down dog. Reach the arms long, send the hips up and back. Exhale, tabletop. From your tabletop, inhale, sweep the right arm up, revolve right around the spine, big reach. With your exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So walk the left hand just outside the edge of the mat, reach through, and then drop that right shoulder down, okay? So feel where it can go. If it's tight, oftentimes you might be able to get it a little closer to the earth by bringing the right shoulder more in front of the left knee. If you're more open, right shoulder can stay in front of the right knee. And then work to stack top shoulder over bottom. You can do that by pressing into that bottom hand and helping kind of lift left shoulder open. Couple rounds of breath here. Feel the tight spots. See if you can have that sense of breathing right into the tight spot so that you can help it let go. With your next inhale, press into that left hand as you walk it back to the mat, and then unthread, reach up, big puff out. Stay here, take a wrist circle or 2. And then exhale, bring it down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up, revolve around the spine. With your exhale, right hand outside the mat. Left arm threads through. Once again, take time, see where you want that left shoulder to go. Find the spot where you can get it down to the earth or close to down to the earth. And then press into that right hand, stack right shoulder over left. Feel like you can revolve a bit more around the spine. Breathe into the tight spot in the shoulder. One more round of breath. With your next inhale, unthread it. Right hand back to the mat. Sweep it up, revolve around the spine, stay. Wrist circle or 2. Get those wrists feeling a bit better. And then exhale, drop it down. Tabletop. In your tabletop, we're going to set up a nice hand position. So look down at your hands. See the wrist crease. You want it under the top of the shoulder, in alignment with the top of the shoulder. And then you want that wrist crease square to the top of the mat. Fingers super wide. And then press the knuckles down strongly. Press the base of the palm down strongly. That's going to give you nice support so your wrists are a little bit happier as we move into weight-bearing poses on the arms. With your exhale, bring it back, down dog, or take your alternate, and then breathe in down dog. Look forward, recheck those hands. Wrist creases square to the mat, top of the mat, each knuckle presses down, base of the palm presses down, and then reach those arms long so you feel energy coming up the spine, up the side body, and then from the waist, down the legs into the balls of the feet. Keep nice, soft knees. More bent if your hamstrings are tight. With your next exhale, bend your knees a little bit more. look forward. Big step to the top of the mat. You're going to come into a temporary forward fold. Hands just in front of the feet. With your inhale, halfway lift. In your halfway lift, keep the knees soft. We don't want to overstretch those hamstrings. If the hamstrings are tight, bend the knees even more. With your next inhale, we're going to take the arms and airplane them along the side of the body, belly button into spine. What we're going to do here is we're going to take those shoulder blades away from the ears, and we're going to bring our spine even extra long. And then our back is so flat, we could probably balance a water bottle on it. There we go. And then squeeze gently shoulder blades into the midline. So strong, so flat in the back. Exhale, release. We're going to crouch it all the way down. Come to the balls of our feet. Tuck the chin. Curl into a little teeny ball. Press the hands into the earth. Press them away. And see if you can get a nice big stretch through the upper back, upper spine. And then a couple rounds of breath to come into standing. We're going to ragdoll it up. So that means knees stay soft, arms hang, belly button into spine to support the low back. And then we're going to stack one vertebra on top of the next until our shoulders are stacked over the waist. Then we can bring the legs long, spine long, and then sweep it up, reaching tall. Big inhale, reach even taller. And then with your exhale, interlace hands. And then we're going to bring the arms parallel to the earth. Chin comes to chest, belly button in and up. Reach those arms away. What we want to do here is get a nice stretch in that upper spine. Shoulder blades all the way up to the cervical spine. And then with your next inhale, goal post your arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then we'll take a little bit of a back bend, very gentle, just to lift the heart space a little bit as we look up. With your next inhale, reach tall. Exhale, palms together. We're going to squeeze those elbows into the midline. And then we're going to come into a forward fold, hinging right at the hips, soft at the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. We're going to fire up our plank, belly button in and up towards the spine. Wrist creases square to the top of the mat. Strong body. Exhale, drop the knees right where they're going to fall. Once you drop those knees, we're going to take those inner elbows, rotate them open a little bit more to the top of the mat. Then we're going to dive the chin forward first. Chin hits next, elbows in close. We're in inchworm asana, butt up in the air. From here, leave the hands and shoulders where they are, scooch the legs back, tops of the feet press down, zip them up. Inhale, baby cobra. With your next round of breath, we're going to do a free form. It's a high jump bhujangasana, which is a cobra pose that just allows some movement to see what we can let go of in the shoulders. So basically a kind of a figure eighting movement with the shoulders. And as we take this figure eight movement, we can move the chin from side to side as well. And so we're going to see what we can let go of in the upper shoulders and the neck. Close your eyes. Free form it. Don't really worry too much about where those shoulders are going. Figure eight, free form. Doesn't matter as long as they're moving and the neck is moving. And then with your exhale, find stillness. Hands plant down, toes tucked under, hips back to heels, and then press it up. Down dog. Adjust your stance as needed so you've got a nice V shape. Reach the arms long, hips up and back. Remember, knees stay soft. Big inhale. Big exhale. With your next exhale, bend knees, look forward. Big step, top of the mat to that temporary forward fold. And then inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, soft knees, forward fold. Pedal out here. Remember, don't overstretch. If your hamstrings are tight, bring that block to you. That brings the floor a little bit closer to your hands so you can find the hamstring stretch that works for you. Pedaling out for another couple rounds of breath. And then we're going to find stillness in our forward fold. So root down through the feet, let the tailbone rise up, and then pay attention to low belly. Bring attention to low belly. About an inch below your belly button. Give it a little engagement in and up to protect the low back. And then reverse swan dive it up. Or if low back is cranky, bring hands to hips first, and then inhale it up. Once shoulders are stacked over the waist, then sweep the arms up, reaching tall. Goal post arms. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Lift the heart space. Big inhale. With your next inhale, reach it tall. Palms together, elbows squeeze to the midline, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back, plank pose. One breath in plank, crown of the head reaches forward, heels reach back. Exhale, drop the knees, externally rotate those inner elbows, dive it down, chin hits, inchworm asana, send the legs back, zip them up, tops of the feet press down, no weight in the hands, you can even lift them off the earth if you want. Baby cobra, one breath. Exhale, tuck the chin, come over the toes, hips to heels, down dog. Big inhale. Big exhale. We'll do one more sun A. With your next exhale, bend knees, look forward, big step, top of mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, release. Engage that low core, and then with your next inhale, bring it up. You can go hands to hips or sweep the arms up. Come right into a little back bend. Exhale, palms together, elbow squeeze, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back, plank pose. Externally rotate those inner elbows, drop the knees, chin hits next, butts in the air, inchworm asana. With your exhale, butt comes down, tops of the feet press. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, bring it back. Down dog. 3 big breaths in your down dog. Pedal about. Feel the breath. With your next exhale, bend your knees. And then see if you can bring them down towards the mat. And then reach the arms extra long. What you're going to try to do is send more energy back towards the heels and then re-straighten. What you want to do is keep that sending back feeling. And we're going to work towards getting more weight back towards the feet, less weight in the arms. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, hover the knees, reach the arms long, see how much weight you can get sending back to the back of your mat. Keeping that weight sending back, re-straighten as much as needed, as much as is available to you right now. With your next exhale, bring the right knee up towards the chin and the underarm, and then step through, find lunge pose. Okay, if when you step through, your foot gets stuck halfway back or wherever, grab the heel, scooch it forward, lunge pose. In your lunge, you have the option, if you have 2 blocks or stand-in, to bring the blocks under each hand to bring the floor a little higher up to you. Otherwise, tension fingers, so you're up a little bit higher. Then, drop the hips. Then feel the left heel like it wants to move back. Right shin, not going anywhere, but feel like it's going to move forward in space. Enjoy the sense of length in your entire body. Big inhale, big exhale. With your next exhale, drop the left knee, come tall torso, interlace fingers, and then send the hands right behind the right kneecap. What we're going to look for here is a hip flexor stretch. So from the mid-thigh up to the hip point. See how you're feeling here. If you're tight, we're going to stay right here. And just find that stretch in the hip flexor. Options to experiment with are floating the arms up reaching tall, perhaps looking up, and see what that does to the stretch. Oftentimes that lifts the stretch a bit higher up towards the hip point. If you want more goalposts, like we did in standing, bring the shoulder blades into the midline, and then lift the heart a little bit. Then refocus on that hip flexor to get the stretch. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Feel length in the spine. If your low back feels good, you can reach your arms long and tall. With your exhale, bring the hands down, frame the foot. We're going to move into half Hanumanasana. Gently, because our hamstrings are often so tight, we need to be careful not to overstretch. So we're going to bring the hip creases back, bring the hands back under shoulders, flex that right foot, spread through the toes. Find your stretch, low calf, get more into low calf by flexing more strongly, all the way up to the upper hamstring. You get more into the upper hamstring by having that sense of hip creases pulling you back. Couple rounds of breath. And then with your next inhale, come back to your low lunge, framing the foot. Check that left knee out, adjust it as you need so it's under the hip point, under the hip crease. And then with your inhale, sweep the right arm up, take a twist. Feel revolving around the spine as you reach tall. Keep the right knee right over the right heel. One more breath, maybe open up a touch more. And then with your exhale, bring it down, frame the foot, send that right leg back as the left knee comes off into plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, drop the knees, externally rotate elbows, dive it down, chin hits into Brahmasana. Send the legs back, zip them up, tops of feet press. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, send it back, down dog. One breath in your down dog. Big inhale, big exhale. With your next exhale, we're going to take that left knee and try to bring it in between the chin and the underarm and then step it through. Remember, grab the back of the heel and scooch it forward as needed. Feel so much length in your lunge pose. Fingers are tented or hands to blocks. Right heel like it wants to move back. Left shin like it wants to move forward. Feel length. Gently lift the chin, but don't crank it up because you want to keep the neck neutral. Cervical spine neutral. Exhale, drop the right knee. Come tall torso. Interlace the hands right behind the left kneecap. So tall through the body. Feel that right hip flexor. How's it doing? Mid-thigh through the hip point. If this is the perfect stretch, wonderful. Stay right here. If you want more, sweep the arms up. Reach it tall. Maybe look up. Couple breaths here. Remember, if this is too much, as in any part of our practice, when you experiment, if you find it's too much, back off. Come back to what works for your body. Another round of breath wherever you are. Maybe you're goal posting your arms. Remember, you don't have to do the same thing on both sides, because most of us have different tightness and openness side to side. So find what's right for this side. Maybe reaching the arms up. One more big inhale, grow long through the torso, lift through the fingers if the arms are up. Exhale, bring it down, frame the foot. Next exhale, half Hanumanasana. Maybe scooch that left heel forward a little bit so the right hip point stays, hip crease stays right over the right knee. Remember, strongly flex that left foot so you can get the stretch down to that low calf. Couple rounds of breath here. Hip creases pull back, flex strongly. Don't overstretch. Strong sensation is fine. Pain, no good. If it's pain, back off. With your next inhale, flatten that left foot, reframe the hands around the foot, and then inhale, take your twist. Revolve around the spine. Keep the left knee right over that left heel. Feel that sense of spine as that kind of pivot point, that rotation point around which the whole torso revolves. Look up if that's comfortable. Another big inhale. And with your exhale, left palm comes down. Find your way back to plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, drop the knees. Externally rotate. Chin drops. Legs zip up. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, come over the toes. Send it back. Down dog. Several rounds of breath in your down dog. Remember to keep that sense of reaching the arms long, like you want to rip that front third of the mat off. And then sending hips up and back so you're getting more weight into the balls of the feet. Remember, heels should be up off the mat a little bit. That gives you room to adjust the stretch in the calves. With your next exhale, we're going to take that right knee once again. We're going to round through the back, lift the low back and the tailbone up a little higher, and then step through. Find lunge. 2 breaths in lunge. Big inhale. Big exhale. With your next exhale, we're going to drop that left knee down. We're going to bring the right hand inside the right foot. And then we're going to open that right knee up so that we're on the knife edge of that right foot. And then just feel that. So right hand is on the inside of the right foot. So with the right hand on the inside of the right foot, we're going to open that knee up. And we might find a stretch in the hip crease, hip point area. And then we're going to just stay for a couple rounds of breath here. If you would like to find a left quad stretch, kick the left heel up, reach around to the back, pinky toe side. Maybe walk that left hand forward just a touch. And then gently pull in, not to overstretch, and then give it some oomph. So kick that foot back into the hand as you stack the right shoulder over the left shoulder. So we're revolving around the spine, and we're looking up. And then keep opening that right knee away from the midline of the mat. Feel like you're on the outer edge of the right foot. One more breath. With your exhale, drop that back leg down. Flatten the right foot. Bring the right hand back to the outside of the right pinky toe. And then once again, twist. This is called easy twist. This time in the twist, we're going to let that right knee float open again. So you're on the outer edge of the right foot, and you're revolving around the spine. And then see if you can point your heart space up the wall a little bit higher with our knee floated open. Revolve around the spine, 2 breaths. With your next exhale, flatten the right foot. Reframe by bringing the hand to the pinky toe side, left hand towards the outer edge of the mat, and then send the right leg back. Plank pose. If you're fatigued, you can go right back to down dog. That's where we'll meet up. Or you can drop the knees and come into our interim asana, chin hitting, butt in the air, sending the legs down, pelvis down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, bring it back. Down dog. One big round of breath in your down dog. And then with your next exhale, left knee comes forward like we want to bring it between the chin and the underarm. And then belly button lifts the tailbone and the low spine. Stepping through. Remember, scooch that heel forward as needed. Big round of breath in your lunge pose. With your exhale, drop that right knee. Walk the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Float that knee open. You can walk the hands out a little ways if you like. And then work to get on that knife edge of that left foot and opening that left knee. Couple rounds of breath. If you bring the hips forward a little bit, you might find a right hip flexor stretch. And then option from here to walk the right hand out to touch Sweep the left arm around, grab the pinky toe side, revolve around the spine, stack left shoulder over right. See if you can open that left knee a little bit more. And then find the quad stretch by gently pulling in, gently kicking out. Couple rounds of breath, keep revolving around the spine. And then with your next exhale, release the back leg gently, flatten the left foot. Reframe the foot with your hands, and then with your inhale, sweep up. Easy twist, and then open that left knee, knife edge of the left foot, and then see if there's more room to revolve around the spine. Couple rounds of breath here, see if you can lift the heart space up the wall, touch higher. Big inhale. And with your exhale, flatten the left foot, reframe the foot with the hands, step it back, maybe going right to down dog or 8-point pose, just dropping the knees, chin comes down, sending the legs down, zipping them up to baby cobra. Big inhale, baby cobra. With your exhale, come over the toes, send it back, down dog. A couple rounds of breath and down dog. Take this next breath together. So with your exhale, empty out. With your inhale, fill all the way up. Hold it at the top, see if you can drink in a bit more, and then open mouth, exhale. Let it go. Head hangs heavily. With your next inhale, bring that right knee like it wants to go in between the chin and the right underarm. Reach the arms extra long, round through the back. Come to high on the ball of the left foot. Tailbone lifts a little higher. Step through. Lunge pose. Big inhale. Big exhale. Feel the length in your lunge pose. With your next inhale, easy twist. Reach the right arm up. Keep the right knee right over that right heel, and then revolve around the spine. Couple arm circles here to open up the shoulder joint a little bit. Take 2 or 3 in each direction. And then find your way back to your easy twist in lunge pose. See if there's a bit more room to open up. If you feel like experiment, you can come to the knife edge of that right foot, let the knee float open, and take a bigger revolve open. Wherever you are, flatten that right foot. Bring the right hand down. Frame the foot. Root both feet down, so the whole right foot, the ball of the left foot. And then with your inhale, sweep it up. Crescent pose. See if you can keep the hips nice and square. Find a focal point in front of you to help with stability. Feel that left heel pointing right up to the sky. Sense the hip points hugging into the center line. One more breath here. Look up if that's comfortable. With your exhale, drop it down. Plank pose. Maybe right back to down dog, or come through your 8-point pose into baby cobra. And with your exhale, bring it back. Find your way to down dog. One breath in down dog. With your next exhale, left knee, set it up like it wants to go between the underarm and the chin. Come higher on the ball of the right foot. Lift the tailbone up a bit higher and reach longer through the arms. Step through. Lunge pose. So much length. Big round of breath. And then with your next inhale, float the left arm. Easy twist, revolving around the spine. We're going to start by keeping that left knee right over the left ankle and see where we can go. Don't allow that left hip point to jut out. Keep it hugged in to the midline. If you'd like to experiment, open that left knee. You'll be on the left knife edge of your foot, and then see if that helps you open up a little bit more. Revolving around the spine, looking up if that's comfortable, looking down if that's what your neck needs. One more breath. With your exhale, flatten that left foot, reframe, Root down, rise with your inhale, crescent pose. Feel that right heel pointing right up to the sky. Don't let that left knee go past the left ankle bone. If you're feeling locked in here, look up as you reach up. Big inhale. And with your exhale, bring it down. Frame the foot. Send it back. Plank pose. Your way down. Knees, chest and chin, or straight back to your down dog. If you're going through your knees, chest and chin, inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, send it back. Down dog. Big round of breath in down dog. Big inhale. Big exhale. Take this next round of breath together. So with your exhale, empty out. With your inhale, fill all the way up, low to high. Hold it at the top, drink it a bit more, and then open mouth, exhale. Let it go. With your next exhale, bend knees. Look forward, big step, top of mat. Inhaling, half a lift. Exhale, release. Forward fold. Couple breaths in forward fold. Find the hamstring stretch that works for you. Root the legs down. Let the tailbone isometrically lift to the sky. Belly button in towards spine. Inhale. Sweep it up. Finding your way to a little back bend. Exhale. Tadasana. From your Tadasana, we're going to sweep the arms up. And then right arm goes back, left arm goes forward. Take the gaze back to the right thumb. You're going to see if you can revolve a little bit more around the spine. Inhale, sweep up, reach tall, look up if that's comfortable. Exhale, left arm back, take the gaze back. If you'd rather, if you feel more stable, keep the gaze forward at the right thumb. Otherwise, gaze back to that left thumb. Revolve a bit more around the spine. One breath. Inhale, sweep up. Take a little back bend. With your exhale, hands come together, forward fold, hinge right at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. With your exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step it back, plank pose. Maybe right back to down dog, otherwise knees, chest and chin. Into Turnasana. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, send it back, down dog. One breath in your down dog. With your inhale, sweep the right leg way up. See if you can keep the hips square, and then send that right knee through. Lunge pose. Root down, hug those legs right into the midline of the mat, and then inhale, rise up. Crescent pose. We're going to take that same twist we just did in our standing at the top of the mat in Tadasana in our crescent pose. So revolved crescent. We're going to reach the right arm back. Start with the gaze over the left thumb. See if that right arm can lift the torso up a little higher. If you want the challenge, take the gaze back to that back thumb. See if you can revolve around the spine and touch more. Torso tall. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Crescent pose, big inhale here. Look up. Exhale, bring it down. Plank pose. Maybe right back to down dog. Maybe knees, chin, in Turnasana, zip them up, baby cobra, exhale, send it back, down dog. Once you're in your down dog, full round of breath. Big inhale, big exhale. With your next inhale, sweep that left leg way up, and then send through. Lunge pose. Breath in lunge to really root down, and then with the inhale, rise up. Crescent pose. Reach it tall. We'll take revolved crescent, second side. Left arm sweeps back, right arm goes forward. Maybe that gaze is going to stay on the front thumb. Maybe it's going to send back to the back thumb. See if that left arm can send torso a touch taller. Maybe revolve a little more. Next inhale, sweep the arms up, reach tall, look up. Exhale, bring it down. Plank pose. Inhale, plank. Option to go back to down dog or drop the knees, Chin hits next. Into Ramasana. Send it down, zip them up. Baby cobra on the inhale. Exhale, send it back. Down dog. Reach those arms long. 3 big breaths here. Let the head hang and shake it, yes and no. Big inhale. Big exhale. With your next exhale, bend the knees, look forward, big step, top of mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Couple breaths in forward fold. Find your hamstring stretch, belly button in and up towards the spine. Keep that nice engagement to protect the low back. And then with your inhale, sweep it up. A little bit of a back bend. Exhale, Tadasana. Sweep the arms up. Hands to heart space. Equal standing pose, Samastitihi. Close your eyes. Couple rounds of breath here. Recall your intention. And just feel your body. You might feel how you can release just a little bit more. How you can release by letting the exhales allow a little bit more of that sense of muscles relaxing, that sense of letting go. How you can release by working hard so that you're building heat and you can burn that which does not serve you, and exhale out to release just a bit more. Couple rounds of breath here. And then with your next exhale, blink eyes open, arms to your side. And then option here, if you're fatigued and ready to kind of bring it down a notch, go ahead and just find your way to seated pose where we'll meet up. If you feel like building a little bit more heat before coming down to the floor, we'll vinyasa through. So inhale, sweep up, little back bend. Exhale, palms together. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back, plank pose, maybe back to down dog here, or knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, back to your down dog. And then we'll all meet up and seated by walking through and sitting it on down. So we're going to come into a seated twist called half lord of the fishes. I'm going to give you a couple options here. So one option is to keep the left leg nice and long. And we're going to bring that right heel either way for both options. Right heel to the outside of the left shin, about halfway down. So you can keep that left leg long, or send the left heel back towards the right hip point. Sit both sitting bones down. If you happen to be sitting on that left heel, scooch it away a little bit more. Then refocus on centering equal weight down through the sitting bones, and then interlace hands. We're just going to work on sitting tall, so sit extra tall. You can use the interlaced hands at the top of the right shin to help that stability and lengthening of the spine. And we're going to bring that right arm behind the tailbone. Then inhale, sweep the left arm up. With our exhale, begin your twist. Most of us will want to just hug in to that knee. If you have more room to spare, left elbow to the outside of the knee, and then re-lengthen through the spine, sit tall, look over the right shoulder. If you have enough room, you can bring that right arm around back and grip with the right hand to the top of the left waistband. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, revolve around the spine, keeping the gaze over that right shoulder. 3 more breaths from here. Each inhale takes your spine taller, all the way through the crown of your head. Each exhale helps you revolve a bit more. One more breath. With your next exhale, we're going to reverse it out. So untwist and then twist all the way to the other side. Plant the hands, puff through that right sitting bone. Sorry, puff through that right side body. There we go. Left sitting bone is glued to the mat. With your next round of breath, come on back to center. Send both legs nice and long. If you kept the left leg long on the first side, keep the right leg long on the second. Left heel halfway down that right shin. If you took the heel of the right foot of the left foot in, you're going to take the heel of the right foot in. Remember, sitting bones root down. Once you do that, if you're sitting on that on that right heel, scooch that right heel away. Then we're going to take our interlaced hands to the top of the left shin. Sit tall. This might be how you watch Wimbledon. Nice and tall. And then left hand in back of the sitting bone. Sit extra tall again, sweep the right arm up, revolve around the spine, start your twist. Most of us want to just hug in, wrapping that crook of the right elbow around the left knee. If you have room, left elbow to the outside of the right knee, long through the arm, maybe half bind, right hand to the top of the left hand to the top of the right waistband. And then sit extra tall. Root both sitting bones down. Exhale, revolve a little bit more around the spine. 3 more breaths from here. Each inhale takes you a bit taller. Each exhale, you can see if there's more room to twist. 1 more breath. With the next exhale, release it, counter twist. Hands to the right side of your body. Puff through the left side body. Big inhale here. And then release it out. Send both legs long. This is staff pose. From staff pose, point the toes, hands to heart space. Use your core strength to bring you slowly down to the mat. Arms alongside. We're going to come into bridge pose. So bring both feet in. So you want the heels so you can just barely brush the heels with the tips of your fingers. Brush the backs of the heels, tips of fingers. Root both feet down. Arms alongside. Take a little counter stretch by bringing the lumbar spine and connecting it to the earth. Inhale, lift the hips. And see how much weight you can get into your trapezius muscles. And then see if you can use the glutes to lift a little higher as you press down through the feet. If this is comfortable and you love the feeling in the trapezius muscles, stay. Otherwise, move into your full expression of the pose by bringing the hands together to interlace. Tuck one shoulder under at a time. And then strongly send those knuckles like they want to get energy shooting out between the feet. And then lift the hips a little higher. Chin is centered. Gently press the back of the head into the earth. See if you can bring the chest a little closer to the chin while keeping space between chest and throat. 1 more breath, lift higher. And then with your exhale, reverse it out. Untuck, uninterlace, 1 vertebra down at a time. Once you get the vertebra down, flatten the low back into the mat for that counter stretch once again. And then with your next inhale, hug the knees in. We're going to release that low back a little bit. You can do a little rock, side to side, if that feels comfortable. And then take the left foot, connect it to the earth, bring that right ankle bone just below the left kneecap. And then we're going to thread through. So grab behind the left knee. So the right arm goes through that hole that's created in the figure 4 of your right foot, right leg, left hand from the outside. Then relax the torso down, the head down, and then hug gently in. This is supine figure 4. You want that right elbow, if it works for your body geometry, to press that inner right thigh away. Hug in. Feel the stretch in the outer right thigh. You can experiment, if you wish, by rocking very gently, very slightly side to side. If you find when you are rocking that there's a perfect spot, for the stretch that you need, stay there. With your next round of breath, if you rocked over, flatten everything in the low back out, hug in for another breath, and then we're going to switch it out. Bring the feet down just like we'd start up in bridge pose. Float the left ankle just below the right kneecap. Thread the arms through. You're grabbing just behind the right knee. And then with the inhale, hug it in. Maybe that left elbow can push the left inner thigh away a touch. And then find the stretch in that outer glute, that hip point area on the left side. And maybe take that little bit of a rock side to side. Remember, if you find the perfect spot for your stretch, stay there, enjoy it. Breathe right into the tight spots. Couple breaths. With your next round of breath, go ahead and release it out. We're going to have a supine inversion in legs up the wall. Option to grab your block or stand in for a block and put it under your tailbone. Or if you don't have a block, just bring the legs up. Either way, we'll meet up, legs up the wall. If you don't have a block, see if you can keep that low lumbar spine all the way to the kind of top of the sitting bones connected to the earth, and then reach those legs nice and high. If you do have that block or a couple books, lumbar spine to the sitting bones, right on the block, and then lift the legs. If this is comfortable, we'll go ahead and stay for about 5 breaths. If you have any discomfort, come on out and just give yourself a hugging of the knees to stretch that low back, which is where we'll all meet up. With your next round of breath or so, go ahead and bring the legs down. If you have the block under your tailbone, bring it out to the side. Round of breath here. We're going to go ahead and find our way into a supine twist. So go ahead and float the knees up over the torso. Using your core strength, bring the knees over to the right as your arms are out at a T. You can take the right hand if you need more of a stretch and press down on the outer left knee as you feel that isometric sense of the left hip point moving away from the knees. Now, if you're tight here and that right knee is floating off the earth, take the right fist and support it, or even your block or your books to support that outer thigh. Couple breaths in supine twist. Gaze over that left arm. With your next inhale, use your core strength to float those knees back up. And then go ahead and with both arms out at a T, float the knees over to the left. Remember, if that left knee doesn't want to touch the earth, use your fist or your block to support it. If it does touch the earth and you want more of a stretch, left hand to the outer right knee, press it down. Sense that right hip point, that right hip crease moving away in space. Gaze over the right arm. One or two more breaths from here. And then with your next inhale, float the knees up. We're going to transition into happy baby. Grab the outside edge of the feet, pinky toe sides. Lumbar spine stays connected to the earth to start. And then see if you can have that sense of feet pressing up into the hands and then gently pulling back down, and you might find yourself getting a nice upper hamstring stretch. You can set the legs a little wider if you want a groin stretch, and then give it a little rock, side to side. So keeping that lumbar spine on the earth as we give the rock side to side, we got a little bit of a massage on those tight spots in the pelvis. Then find stillness and give yourself a low back stretch by rolling off the mat. Bring the knees like they want to go to the underarms. And then find that nice low lumbar spine stretch as you get a hamstring stretch, maybe a groin stretch. Gently press into the feet as you push the feet back into the hands. One more breath. With your exhale, bring the knees together, wrap it up, grab opposite elbows if you can, as the forearms pull in at the tops of the shins. See if you can bring your chin towards the knees. Exhale, become the tiniest little ball possible. Inhale, sweep the arms up, come into a full body stretch. Arms are long, legs are long. Point the toes strongly, lift the lumbar spine to get a low belly stretch, and then flatten the lumbar spine as you flex the feet, reach extra long, big inhale, biggest one of the day. And then with your exhale, arms come down along sides as we prepare for Shavasana. Find your comfortable position for Shavasana. Of course, if you'd like to take a moment to cover up, as we slow down, we cool off pretty quickly, so if you have a blanket or a sweatshirt, go ahead and cover up, and then find your comfortable supine position. And then with your eyes closed, feel your body from the inside. And as you feel your body from the inside, refocus on sensation of breath. Just as we did at the start of class, take some nice deep breaths where you're going to fill up low belly all the way up to the collarbones, drink in a bit more, and then take that nice exhale. Could be open mouth, could be sighing out, whatever you need. Several rounds. Seeing if with each of your next several exhales, you can have that sense of release. So you might even bring in the words letting go with each exhale. And allow your breath to normalize and refocus on sensation of breath. And as you focus in on the coolness, on the inhales, on the touch of the breath with each exhale, see where in your body you are still holding. And we all have these kind of habitual spots where we grip in. So we're going to work through in the next minute or so of Shavasana in identifying those spots and seeing if we can bring that sense of warmth of breath so that we can let go just a bit more. So bring your attention to low belly, low back, and see if as you release the low belly away from the spine that you can relax your lumbar spine and the entire pelvic floor at once. So you might allow a couple rounds of breath for that focus. Relaxing the low belly, relaxing the low back, releasing through the pelvic floor. And then bring attention up the torso. See if you can feel the low ribs, mid-chest, up to the collarbones on the front of your body, low ribs, mid-back, cervical spine, and the back body. A couple rounds of breath to allow the sense of opening and releasing. So letting the sense of the breastbone moving away from the spine allow you to release both front and back chest at the same time. And then bring attention to your tongue.
Allow the tip of the tongue to stay connected to the roof of your mouth. But as you let the back of the tongue release from the roof of the mouth, see if that helps relax shoulders, neck, trapezius muscles. And then allow attention to come into your head. And we'll scan through all the muscles that support different parts of your head, both face and back of head. So allow attention to come to the little muscles that support your cheekbones, temples, forehead, crown of head, back of head, even where the cervical spine meets the skull. And see if you can let all those muscles relax at once. And then for the last minute or so of Shavasana, keep that nice focus on breath. And see if with each exhale you can continue to relax just a bit more. And then allow attention to really focus on inner body sensations for a few breaths. Feeling your body from the inside out. And then allow attention to come from the outside in, so that you feel like you have that ability to see yourself in your room, wherever you are, as if you could look down upon yourself in your Shavasana. And then take some small movements, so perhaps wrist circles, perhaps a neck stretch by bringing the chin towards one shoulder, grounding the other shoulder down, taking it back and forth a couple times. And then as you're ready, roll to one side or the other. We often think of right side for more energizing, left side for more relaxing. And once you roll to your side, find that comfortable fetal position and just breathe several rounds of breath to feel the effects of your practice in your body. And then nice and slowly make your way to your Sukhasana, your easy seated pose, seeing if you can keep eyes closed. Bringing hands to heart space, let the thumbs press into breastbone. Let the breastbone lift into the thumbs. Thank you so much for coming and practicing today. It's always a joy to guide your practice. I invite you to keep your intention in mind as you go through your day ahead, and keep considering what you can let go of that does not serve you. Thanks again for practicing. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that when I post new videos, you'll get noticed. You get a notice, especially if you have your settings in that little bell set to send you notices automatically. So thanks again. The inner spirit in me sees and honors the inner spirit in you. Namaste.